Mesdames et messieurs, bonjour, on se retrouve pour un nouvel épisode de Year Walk. Dans l'épisode précédent, nous avons atteint l'église euh, et on est entré dans un espèce de trip psychédélique sur le cœur et on a eu des visions sur le futur et les choses se passent moyennement bien pour nous et pour notre ami. On a aussi tombé sur un espèce de message qui dit oui voilà des secrets machin, on a trouvé le secret et il s'agit d'un journal qu'on va maintenant lire dans cet épisode. Peut-être qu'on trouvera des choses supplémentaires ou peut-être que ça signera la fin de cette aventure. Hello, new system. Testing photo upload, it works. Should probably write here more often. Read about every book on Swedish folklore there is. Surprised how little has been written about yearwalking. Need more sources of information. Talk to ES. He suggested some field work. Might be good, but I feel that I might be 30 years too late. Je vais juste regarder un peu la photo. Been talking to elderly folks. Eating cookies and drinking coffee. Their knowledge about yearwalking has been limited to say the least. Barely any one of them knew what it was. If they did, they had heard stories as children, but forgotten the details, thinking ES sent me on a wild goose chase. Interview at the retirement home. May I never grow old. The last interview was intriguing, if very brief. Talked to one Astrid Jansen. She was over 100 years old, clear at times. Did not know a lot about folklore, but she did claim that her grandfather's brother had once yearwalked. Sadly, she did not know his name. He had died many years before she was born. Might have to look into it. Her maiden name was Swenson, which leaves me with a lot of possibilities. She was born in Vettorp, and I can only hope that her grandfather was as well. More interviews. Nothing worth mentioning. Professor Hasp called today. He hinted that the faculty wanted to take part in my research. Daniel Svensson, c'est le nom qu'on cherche. Followed up my visit to the retirement home. In the early 20th century, there were 6 households in Vettorp with the surname Svensson. According to the church book, Astrid was born in 1913. Her grandfather was named Carl Frederick. He had 2 brothers. One died in 1942. The other brother, Daniel Svensson, died in 1895. Since Astrid said that her great-uncle died before she was born, Daniel is the one that supposedly yearwalked. A mirror apprentice. Going to the library to check out old newspaper tomorrow. A mirror apprentice. Il y avait un moulin également dans le jeu. Est-ce que ça veut dire qu'on jouait Daniel Svensson? Looked for reference of Daniel Svensson in old newspaper. I'm grasping at straws. Another day at the library, nothing of interest. Bored. I'm about to give up. Excited. The newspapers finally mention a Daniel Svensson. He was apparently arrested for the murder of a young woman in Vettorp. Donc la fin qu'on a vue dans l'épisode précédent, c'est vraiment Daniel, notre personnage, qui aurait tué la jeune fille en face de nous. Je vais pas tenter de dire ça. Information is scarce. Je pense que ça veut dire qu'il a 21 ans. Mais après le reste... Stina Nilsson. C'est peut-être le nom de la fille. Information is scarce. Her name was Stina Nilsson and she was a miller's daughter. Her body was found on a field outside of the village. She had been stabbed multiple times. The library should be open longer. Hope I can find any reference to his supposed yearwalk. The motive behind the murder seems to have been jealousy. Not many details. Apparently, Stina was going to marry a Lucas Tapper. She was on her way home from Lucas's parents when she was intercepted by Daniel. She was found the following morning, just 17 years old. I feel a tad guilty about my excitement yesterday. After all, there is a great tragedy behind all this. The press seemed to have lost interest in the case after a while. Found nothing today. Maybe ES can tell me something. Had a long talk on the phone with ES. The murder case was unknown to him. He had, however, spent a lot of time in Vettorp during the 60s, when he studied folklore in the area. There had been a rather peculiar runestone that seemed to predate the Viking Age. C'est la runestone où on a sûrement mis les codes pour avoir la combinaison de tours à faire autour de l'église. ES claims that there was a definite connection between the symbols on the stone and the year walking. He could not tell how. Want to check it out. Went to the library again, in case I missed something about Daniel. Indeed I had. Found another article. Feeling upset and a little bit sad. Borrowed the article just in case. Perhaps there is more to learn about Daniel. Booked a hotel room in Vettorp. Arrived in Vettorp. It's a small place. One street cuts through the village. It's a rather depressing place. To be fair, the weather would not do any place justice. Il y a deux ailes à hôtel là-bas. The hotel is empty besides me and a group of dog toy manufacturers who are a bit on the noisy side. Must ask chef for the well recipe. Got a map from the hotel owner. Excited about the archive. Have the feeling that I will find something major. Just got back from the archive. An interesting place. Sadly, it's only open 4 hours a day. It's understandable since I was the only visitor. Possibly found the files I need. Tomorrow, reading and lots of it. A lot of it. I knew it. The archive has exceeded my wildest dreams. On New Year's Eve, year 1893, Daniel Swenson did indeed year walk. The court records refer to his year walk at several occasions. I have just started to scratch the surface. There must be beliefs hidden amongst these papers that have been forgotten for ages. Amazing. This is by far the latest recorded year walk. I hope I'm excused for borrowing the file from the archive. They gave me little choice since they are closed during the weekend. Voilà. Could not sleep last night. Too excited by the files. Much of the records are of a legal nature, but there are relevant passages. Daniel claimed he knew that he would murder Stina after seeing it in a vision on his year walk. Sadly, the scribe has not bothered to take it all down and occasionally just refers to it as ramblings of a madman. Poor boy. There are certain elements that are new to me. Must write them down in detail later on. Need fresh air. Daniel's cabin, Solsoten, is briefly mentioned in the protocol. We'll ask around about it. Hope it still exists. Donc nous, on a peut-être juste vu la vision dans le jeu, mais après, ça s'est vraiment passé. La boîte? C'est la boîte, ça? C'est la boîte. Draw around 4 hours in the forest today. There are woods to get lost in. These are woods to get lost in. Asked for the direction from every local. Most people never heard of the cabin. Was about to give up when I met an old man. His aunt had lived there till the 60s. From then, it had 3 different owners that used it as a summer house until the mid-80s. The last family that owned the cabin only stayed there one summer. Their 5-year-old son drowned in a brook nearby, and after that they never returned. Nobody has lived there since. The old man's nephew owned the land. I asked the old man if I could pay it a visit. He did not think there could be anyone that would mind. The cabin is situated deep into the forest, no sign, no road, just a narrow path. This was the place where he started his year walk over 100 years ago. Felt overwhelmed by the thought. Could not enter. It's a lonely place. The only other building I could find in the area was an underground storehouse. Guess it might have belonged to the cabin. It was too dark to see anything, but I can't imagine there would be anything of significance in there. On my way back to the car, I found this strange box. J'ai l'impression que les images ont été inversées, par contre. What an odd thing to live in the middle of the forest. Seems to be in more or less my mind condition. Could not resist taking it. Tonight, I need whiskey and lots of it. Oh, peut-être que lui, il va réussir à ouvrir la boîte. October 1st. Went to Vedtorp Church today. It's a small white stone church built in the 12th century. The place where the church stands has been used for worship even earlier than that. According to the priest I met, he showed me around the premises. Put a bouquet of flowers on Stina's grave seemed appropriate. The almost unlikely somber epitaph read, "In memory of our loving daughter, Stina Nilsson, 1877-1894. Her cries for mercy could not sway his hand." Depressing. Search for Daniel's grave, but there was no stone, and according to the priest, there probably never was. The gravestone he told me about are gone. The priest is not sure where they are or when they disappeared. Weather has been unreasonably bad. Spent the day at the county archive. Had trouble concentrating, tried to locate a photograph of Daniel Swenson, but no luck. The clerk explained that a lot of stuff was lost when the files were moved from the regional archive back in 1976. Apparently, there was another murder case in Vedtorp in the early 1890s. Lisa Rasmussen drowned 4 infants in a creek. She was an angel maker who received foster children from poor unmarried mothers. C'est elle qu'on a dû voir en mode fantôme et tout ça. C'est pour ça que c'est la même personne qu'on a vu pour les 4 gamins qu'on a refilés au cheval de la rivière là. Lisa promised to find the babies good homes in exchange for a hefty sum of money. This was all a charade. As soon as the mothers had paid what little they owned, she drowned the children in a nearby creek. All files from that trial have been lost. Outrageous. Think I'm done with the archive. Been thinking a lot about that church. Strange day. The runestone ES talked about is not marked on any map. Talked to the man at the service station. He drew me a rather primitive map. Searched for the stone for a long time, almost gave up, found it at last, felt compelled to touch it. Had the strangest sensation of looking beyond what? The feeling lasted for quite some time. Heading home tomorrow. Wish I had more time. This stone is old, might predate Christianity, but I failed to see how it is connected to your walking. Could not resist stopping by the church on my way home, walked around it for a bit. It's a pretty church, not remarkable, but there is something about it. Feel that the church and the stone are connected somehow. C'est bien le cas. La boîte. C'est vraiment... C'est des vraies photos tout ça, je pense. Et c'est vraiment cool qu'ils aient fait une vraie boîte. Found the box when I unpacked. Had almost forgotten about it. It seems to have some lock-like construction, but I have yet to understand exactly what it is and how to open it. It reminds me of one of those puzzle boxes. The wheel with the symbol suggests it's opened by entering a password. It must be old, maybe ES knows something about it. Et si je me souviens bien, la boîte était déjà présente dans le prologue avant qu'on fasse a Yearwalk. Decided not to tell ES about the box, he might not appreciate that I took it with me. He's always nagging me about ethics. Busy week, classes and meetings. This faculty is really getting in the way of my research. Feeling a bit strange, I've had weird dreams ever since I came back from Wettorp. Let's party, Theo! Prepare lecture Swedish. Oh, c'est tellement cool que on ait les textes en anglais parce que le mec parle en anglais aussi et c'est juste qu'il, vu qu'il est en Suède, il fait des cours en suédois. C'est tellement stylé. Dreamt that I was in a vast wasteland. I was searching for the keys to my locker together with Jenny from high school. We laughed and dug in the sand. Suddenly the sky lit up and Jenny pointed to a simple constellation of stars. She whispered in my ear to never forget it. Okay. I asked her what it meant, but she was dead and her bone was withered and old. Woke up and have been feeling rather queasy ever since. Read an account of a year walk by a man called Romedal in an old book I came over in a used bookshop. Romedal's story is little more than a told tale told by a drunken oaf. Most of them seem to be. Daniel's sticks out. It haunts me. Alors qu'une ambulance ou la police passe sur le côté. Held a lecture on yearwalking. Several faculty members attended it. They ridiculed me in front of my students. Another strange dream was doing my homework, was stressed because the oil lamp was running out of oil, and when it did, the pale horse outside the window would come inside. The lamp burned out and everything went black. Woke up soaked in sweat. Okay. Must remember to buy groceries. Fiddled with the box. I have no clue how to open it. Frustrating. Oh, c'est tellement stylé! J'espère qu'ils ont fait une... Alors ça m'étonnerait parce que ça doit quand même coûter cher à faire, mais ça aurait été stylé d'avoir une édition limitée avec la boîte. What jealous, small-minded, greedy creatures the faculty members are. And they will undoubtedly create small-minded, jealous and greedy students. Don't feel the need to share any of my research with the faculty anymore. They don't deserve to read something that my hand has written. They would not understand anyway. The thought of what is inside that box is like a niche that can't be scratched. I've searched for references to anything about it, but I have found nothing that resembles it at all. Having more strange dreams. Something happened in those woods. Is yearwalking a mere vision quest? Are the vision brought on by lack of light and food? Yes, believe so, not so sure. Dreamt of the runestone. Was in the forest outside Wettorp. Miss Bowman was walking up to me. I was very afraid. She said that I had been a bad boy and broken the rules. Before I could defend myself and tell her that I did not mean to be naughty, she withered into dust. Found myself in front of the runestone. Grimm's eyes glowed at me. Woke up. Find myself thinking of the stone. What does it mean and how is it connected to yearwalking? What did people do in those woods? Do not feel like sleeping tonight, drinking coffee and watching TV. If I stay awake, those dreams will stay away. Could not understand much of my students' presentation today. Must sleep, someone is watching me all the time. Got an email reminder to deliver the text for the game. Wrote 7 or 8 pages. Hopefully it's enough. Waiting. Don't know for what. Have a feeling that something is on its way. Est-ce que c'est pour ce jeu? Ils ont créé une fiction autour du mec qui a créé les textes du jeu pour de vrai? Received a node email today. Got over 1,000 of these during last night. Final text, Jonas Starstad. Faut que je regarde de nouveau les crédits pour voir s'il y a le nom dedans. The emails seems to have stopped when my inbox was full. Don't know what it could mean. Maybe it's a prank by my students, but they seem not unimaginative to come up with something like this. They seem too unimaginative. Don't think it will end here. C'est un symbole. C'est une lune comme ça. Is it some kind of threat? Called the priest, told him of my plight. He said that red top sometimes had a strange effect on people, but it rarely lasted. Do not think he understands. I was going to ask him about the box, but decided to hang up when he suggested I should see someone. Alors attends, c'est octobre 30. Il y a un truc. Woke up last night, heard baby screams from beneath the floorboards, panicked, managed to pry up some of the floorboards. The screaming stopped. The Watchers, the Night Raven, the Hudra, the Brook Horse, and the Church Grim. There might be others, cannot be sure. Can they disguise themselves? Maybe they can read my mind, the Watchers. Because they watch. That's what they do. But is it all they do? Grim assiste Raven qui assiste Grim. Milin et Hast, right? Yearwalk, system error. Regardez ce qu'il y a sur le côté. Yearwalking works, but it was never meant to. It's against the rules. The universe blinked its eye, and someone crossed all barriers that are known as time and space. The Watchers are watching, but who are watching the Watchers? How can you bend time and space? Okay. Got in a heated argument with ES. He is surprisingly scornful of my theories. Must remember that he is an old man and he might not be as open to new ideas any longer. He claims that it is impossible to gaze into the future. The future is not set. Nothing happens until it happens. Of course, it's impossible to look into the future according to logic, but I'm not sure they are playing according to our rules. The Watchers are more than they appear, unless they are real yet they are unreal. They do not exist in the manner that this table and this chair exist. How do I know these things, and are they my thoughts? Am I writing this? I certainly did not draw this. But yet, it's right there in my notebook. On va... Tous les trucs qui ressemblent à des symboles... C'était quoi? C'était octobre 30. Donc il y avait ça. Je sais pas si c'est le premier, mais c'est le premier qui m'a marqué en tout cas. Ensuite un carré. Ça c'était octobre 30. Ça c'est novembre 19. Watchers or antibodies. Daniel broke the rules and he was punished. Held another lecture, the last one for a long while it seems. It's been decided that I need a break, and it matters not. Have more important things to do. I've been an idiot. Someone is playing with me. It is shapes. It's the same as on the box. Did someone see me take it? Try to the symbols I have received, but the box remains shut. There must be more coming. Woke up last night. The telephone rang, answered, could not hear anyone, hung up. It rang again, answered, could hear someone speak on the other side, could not make out what was being said. The voice was too far away, hung up. It kept ringing, cut the cord. Bought whiskey, bought food, people stare, don't want to go out there again. Too many know who I am. If you break the rules, there will be consequences. Wish I had not cut the cord to my phone. Need to hear a human voice. Don't dare to go out. At first, I didn't even notice. One of the paintings in my living room has been replaced. Triangle. Et on est toujours en novembre, mais cette fois le 29. It must have happened during the 30 minutes I slept. Cannot let my guard down. Someone was here or something. Will the antibodies come for me? Am I a virus in the eye of the universe? Boarded up the balcony and all the windows. Nothing can come in now, I hope. Shouldn't be possible, but someone was here again. I'm definitely being threatened. There was a knife on my kitchen table. Old but sharp. I realized that the knife is his. We are connected. The church is central to this, and yet it is not. Perhaps the church itself is not important, but rather the energy of the place. Perhaps the gate is always there, but it's not a gate. Gates are meant to be open or closed. This is a rift in the fabric of the very existence of everything. But why allow it? Why does the universe or God or someone not shut the gate? If we're not meant to do it, why let us? I can hear the heart of the universe beating. What is happening? Feel like a worm under a big boot. I feel the shadow hanging over me, waiting to be crushed. She sings and I shall follow. She's trying to fool me, that I know, but I must get closer to her because then I get closer to the key that leads to the heart of it all. I didn't steal the box because it begged me to take it with me. Daniel survived all the watchers sent by the universe. He was lured by the temptress, brought the innocents to the pale horse, unearthed the parasite, and finally faced the master of them all. But yet, he was destroyed. Could it have gone any other way? Was it doomed from the start? Am I doomed? Is the future set, or can it be altered? Ce qu'on est en train d'essayer de faire. Must help him. Is the right thing to do. There is a bond between us. Might have figured it out. 5 watcher, 5 symbols, which means there is one more coming. Ça veut dire que j'en ai loupé un. Parce que j'en ai que 3 là. Mince, j'en ai que 3. Y'a rien dans le couteau. Est-ce qu'il y en a un deuxième ici? Là, c'est le triangle. Là, j'en vois pas. Là, c'est le carré. Là, j'en vois pas. Là, j'en vois pas non plus. C'est que des formes simples. Là, c'est le premier que je me suis noté. Est-ce qu'il y en avait un avant? Est-ce que c'est le rectangle? Oh! C'est peut-être le triangle là. C'est en octobre 8. Ok. Partons du principe que c'est ce triangle là, j'espère. Donc là on en a 4. Donc il en resterait encore un. Okay. So tired. Can't seem to hold my thoughts for any period of time. Should probably eat more often, but I must resist. It's important that I come prepared. The heart beats stronger, but I will break it and see beyond everything. In the end, it was the nature of man that got Daniel. Must free myself of all desires. That's how they get to you. Can love really be a weakness, or is it strength? And the poor girl, it just seems unfair. Is there anything I can do? If the future can be altered, why not the past? Am I playing the part of the fool in the cosmic play? And if so, to what purpose? Disconnected the microwave oven, just in case. Feeling absolute terror at the possibility that there is no purpose, no rhyme, no reason to any of it. Why me? The only way I can help him is if I break the rules. It will come at a price, but what do I care if I can rise above it all? Time, space, your work, if broken, above it all, and doom, how? So her lifeless body, she's beautiful, even in death, have been crying ever since. It all seems so needless, so cruel. Ready for anything, don't care anymore. It's finally here, the last one. Woke up with this in my palm. Ah, ça marche plus, si c'est bon. Ok, et c'est décembre 18. Je me note les dates pour pouvoir les retrouver au cas où. Try to wash it out, it's a tattoo. Tested them in all different kind of combination, but I could not figure out how to do it. I must sleep. I will open that box tomorrow. Of course, a simple rotate the wheel and release when the symbol aligns with the grim. D'accord. In the order they were delivered to me. Comme un téléphone, but why was it empty? I thought it was Daniel all along. I thought he was here, but it cannot have been he who sent me the password. It doesn't make sense. If the box was empty, it means it must be filled? I still do not understand who sent the symbols. If it was not the boy, then it must have been the Watchers. But why? Are they toying with us? Helping us in some perverse twisted way? From the get-go, he was doomed. They got him at the very thought of here walking. But I think the girl can be saved. I put everything he needs in the box and locked it. You and have spare pos. I will leave it where I found it. Where all of this started. If my mind is set on this, does it mean that I am doomed too? The rift is open. It wants me to go through. Packed my things. I wonder if I will come back. Le moulin. La cabane. So certain, it's cold here. Wish I could light a fire, but I must do it right. Surprised how calm I feel, only hours remain. It's midnight. Et il est parti Yerwoki aussi. Holy. Ah, on peut hider ça. Quit. Non, je veux pas quitter, je veux... Donc la boîte, on l'a avant de Yerwoki, il me semble. Donc essayons cette combinaison de symboles en espérant qu'on a bien tout. Ah, j'ai des frissons partout. C'est ouf. Alors. La boîte est là. Alors. D'abord, nous avons ça. Ça. Carré. Triangle. Est-ce que du coup on va avoir ce qui nous vient du futur? Oh, murdered, executed. Christianstadt, January 21st. Yesterday morning, vet top killer Daniel Svensson was executed at Christianstadt prison. He was found guilty for the heinous murder of young Stina Nilsson last year. The death sentence has been criticized by the highly renowned Dr. Helmer Lundbach, who stated that Daniel is suffering from an abnormal psyche. He seems to have problems discerning past from present and has visions of terrible creatures. Something not uncommon amongst schizophrenics. Daniel cannot be held accountable for his actions and should be given treatment at an institution for the criminally insane. The execution was performed by Gustav Dahlberg. This was his fourth execution. Last year, he was to perform the execution of the notorious Lisa Rasmussen, who was charged with the murder of 4 infants in Vettorp, but who took her own life before the sentence could be carried out. Security has been improved greatly since. Daniel Svensson was composed during the whole process. Besides the slightly shaking hands so common among the criminal type, you could not tell Daniel from any other young man. He sobbed loudly once when he laid his head down low, but quickly regained his composure. A quick prayer and a swift, powerful stroke, and it was over. According to the attending priest Granat, Daniel's last words were, "I should have killed myself, then none of this would have happened." You are long dead when I write this, and I have not yet been born. Yet we have a connection beyond life, death, space, and time, the impossible made possible by your walking. But the Watchers always win. Even though you've not passed through the rift yet, they sense the urge and they want their sacrifice. I wish there could be another way, I'm so sorry, but for her, there is still hope. You can save her. You know what you must do. Et son couteau. J'ai des frissons partout. Jonas Starestat, c'est le nom qu'on a vu, si je me souviens bien, dans la boîte mail, dans les photos, où il y a un des symboles, le premier symbole que j'avais repéré. Oh. Oh, wow. C'était un jeu déjà intéressant et une expérience bien pensée pour sa base. Mais cette histoire d'aller au-delà du temps et de l'espace et d'utiliser le personnage autour de l'encyclopédie et le journal caché pour refaire le lien avec la boîte et faire une espèce de boucle temporelle où... C'est triste pour notre personnage, parce que il y a aussi d'autres manières, hein, tout simplement, de tuer personne. Mais bon, il y a des choses, des entités surpuissantes qui demandent un sacrifice, et à la fin, il va faire le sacrifice pour sauver la fille qu'il a tuée dans une autre version du temps. Walk again. Waouh. C'était ouf. Honnêtement, je me suis dit, dès le premier épisode de la série, quand on a commencé à lire l'encyclopédie, que j'avais envie de me mettre dans cet univers, j'avais envie de me mettre dans l'ambiance, et je me suis dit que ça plairait pas à tout le monde que je prenne du temps pour lire les trucs, parce que tous les joueurs ne sont pas comme ça, mais au moins vous avez été prévenus avant, hein. Et c'est dans des épisodes un peu à part, la lecture avant et la lecture après. Mais je me sens vraiment... Genre, l'encyclopédie est bien faite, enfin, on a l'impression qu'il y a des indices à l'intérieur, alors qu'au final on pourrait très bien jouer sans, bien entendu. Et ça, en dehors de l'ambiance, ça m'a donné envie de continuer de lire tous les articles, etc. Et même si, le fait qu'après il y ait du gameplay dans l'encyclopédie, enfin ça permet de raccorder le jeu avec des canaux qui sont plus des canaux textuels. Et lorsqu'on a eu le journal, je me suis senti dans la même ambiance que d'avoir lu l'encyclopédie. J'aime beaucoup que ce soit la même personne qui a écrit l'encyclopédie et le journal. Et qu'on voit dans le journal qu'il a écrit des textes du jeu et des trucs comme ça. Et waouh, c'est vraiment cool. Je me sens quelque part récompensé d'avoir de m'être investi dans l'univers du jeu. Et même si cette fin est triste, de par le fait que certes on a perdu une vie, mais la vie était déjà perdue dans l'autre phase de toute façon. Donc on a sauvé une vie en définitive. Et à côté de ça, on aurait... Enfin, sachant que les Watchers existent quoi qu'il arrive dans cet univers, on n'a pas fait tout ça pour rien, dans le sens où il a fallu que dans le futur, on ait notre cas pour que le gars puisse revenir et revenir dessus, le gars du journal, et derrière nous envoyer ce qu'il fallait dans la boîte, pour que En fait, on avait besoin d'un mot du futur pour ne plus chercher à déjà voir le futur et accepter d'être nous-mêmes le sacrifice. Waouh. Je sais pas s'il y a d'autres choses qu'on peut faire dans le jeu, mais dans le principe, en tout cas... je pense qu'on a atteint un écran où il y avait marqué la fin, donc on a terminé ce jeu. Cet épisode est potentiellement très très long, mais je pense que ça valait le coup de le faire en une seule fois, et là je pouvais pas me permettre de couper. J'étais trop pris dedans. et ouais, c'est cool, on a pris pas mal de notes pendant le truc, c'est sympa. Et les puzzles sont intéressants, il y en a certains où j'étais un petit peu bloqué. Le système de hint est plutôt cool. Un petit peu triste que pour les 4 gamins que le hint de celui que je cherchais soit tout à la fin de la liste de hint. Heureusement qu'on a d'abord trouvé les autres gamins avant de chercher sur les hints. Et des puzzles très intéressants. Il me semble que ce jeu existe aussi sur téléphone. Parce que quand j'ai cherché la soluce pour aller dans la colline, pour la flamme dans le basement, c'est le seul moment où je suis allé chercher une soluce, parce que le système de hint suffit en lui-même très bien pendant la majorité du jeu. C'était une solution en rapport avec des téléphones, donc une version, je sais pas quel modèle, c'est iPhone ou quoi, mais du coup, ça explique aussi les interactions qui sont très drag and drop et des choses comme ça. Il y a juste le U, le N, où je sais pas trop comment on aurait fait sous téléphone. Mais ouais, dans le principe, des puzzles intéressants, une histoire intéressante, un univers intéressant, une expérience vraiment cool, et j'aime les vraies fins qui demandent pas à refaire 115 fois. La boîte était disponible dès le départ, on n'avait pas besoin de tout rejouer, etc. Donc c'était vraiment bien. En fait, la entre guillemets fin qui n'est pas la vraie, où il n'y a pas l'écran The End, et plus une mise en scène qu'autre chose vis-à-vis de la fin du jeu. Donc on était vraiment plus sur une continuité, l'idée de continuer de progresser. Un peu comme World of Final Fantasy qui a aussi ça. Davantage que des fins comme celle de Metro 2033, où dès qu'on fait une fin, bah voilà, c'est la fin, et les autres fins sont des fins alternatives. On n'est pas dans la continuité. Là, on était vraiment dans la continuité, et du coup, on a atteint une fin. Une fin qui est celle du jeu, je pense. J'espère que cette aventure vous a plu. On se retrouve pour d'autres choses dès que possible, et d'ici là, portez-vous bien. Bye.